To crochet the Hello Kitty, you'll need white and pink yarn, a pair of scissors, a crochet hook, stitch markers, a darning needle, a template for the eyes and nose, felt for the eyes and nose, and fabric glue. For this project, you will need to know how to make a slip knot, a chain stitch, a single crochet, an increase, and an invisible decrease. You can watch our shorts to learn how to make these. To make the Hello Kitty, we're going to start by making the head. To begin, we're going to make a slip knot. This finger method is the easiest way that I found to make a slip knot. Once we have the slip knot made, we're going to grab the hook. For this yarn, we're using a 4.5 millimeter hook. We're going to start by making 10 chains. It's basically yarning over and pulling through a loop. And we're going to do this 10 times. I'm going to speed it up until we get up to 10 chains. Once we have completed the 10 chains, we're going to count them. Each chain will look like the letter V. So let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're ready to move on to row number 1. This may be the most difficult part of the project, but it's really not. I've included a diagram so we get a better idea of how to crochet this row. We're going to start by doing a chain 1. After the chain 1, we're going to make a single crochet in the next chain. This single crochet will be the first crochet in this row. We're going to put a stitch marker onto this crochet. This will let us know where the row ends. We're going to continue making single crochets in each chain until we reach crochet number 9. The piece may start to curl, but that's okay. Just straighten it up and continue crocheting. Now that we've reached crochet number 9, we're going to work on number 10, 11, and 12. All 3 of these single crochets will go into this last stitch of this row. We're going to start by making crochet number 10 in this stitch. Then we're going to move on to making crochet number 11 in the same stitch. Once we're done with crochet number 11, we're going to slightly turn our work, then insert the hook into the chain after the knot so that crochet number 12 is made after the knot. Now we're on the other side of the chain. The chains on this side will look more like little bumps. We're going to insert the hook inside the little bump and make a single crochet. This is crochet number 13. Continue making the single crochets until you reach number 20. Be sure you are being consistent on where you are inserting your hook through each stitch or bump. Now we're on crochet number 20. We're going to insert our hook into the next stitch and make a single crochet. For crochet number 21, we're going to insert our hook into the last stitch, which is in the same stitch as crochet number 1. And then for crochet number 22, we're going to insert our hook into that same stitch to make that final crochet. Let's count our crochets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and there is 22. And now we're done with row 1, which really wasn't that difficult. And now we're ready for row number 2. We're going to remove our stitch marker and start with an increase. We're going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch. Like always, we're going to put a stitch marker in our first crochet. Next, we're going to make the second crochet in that same stitch to make that increase. Now we're going to make 8 single crochets. These are crochet number 3 through 10. We're going to speed this up until we get to that 10th crochet. After we finish all 8 single crochets, we're going to move on to make 3 sets of increases. We're going to start with crochet number 11, and then going back into that same stitch, we're going to do crochet number 12 to complete that increase. Then we're going to do crochet number 13, and then back into that same stitch, crochet number 14 to finish the increase. In the next stitch, crochet number 15, and then back in the same stitch, crochet number 16, and that completes the increases. Next, we're going to do 8 single crochets. We're going to speed this up until we get to the 8th crochet. In these 8 stitches, we'll be on crochet number 17 through 24. If we follow the pattern correctly up to this point, there should be 2 stitches left. In these last 2 stitches, we will be doing increases. We're going to start with crochet number 25. Then in the same stitch, we're going to do crochet number 26 to complete the increase. Then we're going to go to the next stitch for crochet number 27, and into that same stitch, crochet number 28 for the increase, and that completes the row. Let's count our crochets. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And now we're ready for row number 3. We're going to start by removing our stitch marker, and then we're going to do an increase in the first stitch. We're going to make a single crochet in our first stitch, and we're going to mark it with the stitch marker. Then we're going to go back into that same stitch to make the second crochet, and that'll complete the increase. Next, we're going to make 9 single crochets. We're going to speed this up. Our 9 crochets will include crochet number 3 through 11. After we finish the 9 single crochets, we're going to do the sequence of an increase and a single crochet, and we're going to do that twice. Beginning with crochet number 12, and in that same stitch we're going to do crochet number 13 for an increase. Then we're going to do our single crochet number 14. The next stitch we're going to do crochet number 15. In the same stitch we're going to do number 16 for the increase, and then we're going to do a single crochet number 17, and that finishes our sequence. Then we're going to move on to an increase, crochets number 18 and 19 together in one stitch. Then we're going to do 9 single crochets. These 9 crochets will include crochets numbers 20 through 28. Let's speed this up. Once we finish the 9th crochet, which is crochet number 28, we should have 4 stitches left. For these last 4 stitches, we're going to do the sequence of increase and single crochet twice. We're going to start with crochet number 29 and go back in with crochet number 30 for our increase. And then we're going to move on to the next stitch, and this will be crochet number 31. In the next stitch, we're going to put both crochet number 32 and crochet number 33 in the same stitch for an increase, and finally crochet number 34. And this completes row number 3. Let's count our crochets. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. We're going to begin row 4 by doing an increase. Like always, we're going to start with that first single crochet and then add the stitch marker to keep our place. Then to finish the increase, we're going to put the second crochet in that same stitch. Next, we're going to do 10 single crochets. These will be crochet numbers 3 through 12 as we speed it up here. And once we get to crochet number 12, we're going to start with the sequence of an increase and 2 single crochets, and we're going to do it twice. We're going to start with an increase, which is number 13, and crochet number 14 in the same stitch, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets, number 15 and crochet number 16. And then we're going to repeat the same sequence. After completing crochet number 20, we're going to do an increase, which is going to be crochet number 21 and crochet number 22 in the same stitch. Next, we're going to do 10 single crochets. These will be crochet numbers 23 to 32. Once we get to crochet number 32, we should have 6 stitches left. These will be 2 sets of an increase and 2 single crochets. These last 2 sequences of crochets will be crochet numbers 33 to number 40. Crochet number 40 completes our row 4. Now we're ready to count our crochets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. We're going to start row 5 with an increase. We're going to do our first crochet, add our stitch marker, then do our second crochet in the same stitch for our increase. Now we're going to do 11 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 3 to 13. Now we're going to do a sequence of an increase and 3 single crochets, and we're going to do that 2 times. So we're going to do an increase and then 3 single crochets. And we're going to repeat that. These 2 sequences are crochets numbers 14 through 23. And now we're going to do an increase, crochet numbers 24 and 25, and then again 11 single crochets. These will be crochets numbers 26 to 36. And once we're done with that, we're going to do a sequence again of an increase and 3 single crochets. We're going to start with the increase and then 3 single crochets. And then we're going to repeat this. And now we're finished with crochets number 37 to 46, and we're done with row number 5. Let's count our crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. We're going to start row 6 with an increase. We're going to do our first crochet and then put in our stitch marker, then put our second crochet in the same stitch to finish the increase. Next, we're going to do 12 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 3 to 14. Next, we're doing the sequence of an increase and 4 single crochets, and we're doing it 2 times. We're going to start with an increase and then 4 single crochets. And then we're going to repeat that. These 2 sequences are crochet numbers 15 to 26. Then we're going to do an increase, which are crochet numbers 27 and 28. And now we're going to do 12 single crochets. These will be crochet numbers 29 through 40. Then we're going to do the sequence of an increase and then 4 single crochets, and we're going to do that 2 times. Then we're going to repeat it. These two sequences are crochet numbers 41 through 52. And after we complete crochet 52, we're done with row number 6. Let's count our crochets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. We're going to start by making our first crochet. Then we're going to add our stitch marker. Then we're going to add our second crochet in the same stitch to complete the increase. Next, we're going to do 13 single crochets, which are going to be crochet numbers 3 to 15. Next, we're going to do a sequence of an increase and 5 single crochets, and we're going to do this twice. We're going to repeat the sequence. The two sequences are crochets numbers 16 through 29. Now we're going to do an increase, which are crochets number 30 and 31, and then we're going to do 13 single crochets. Then we're going to do an increase, which is crochets numbers 30 and 31. Then we're doing the sequence of an increase and 5 single crochets, and we're going to do that 2 times. These two sequences will be crochet numbers 45 to 58. And after we're done with crochet 58, we're finished with row number 7. Let's count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. We're going to start with an increase. We're going to make our first crochet, then add a stitch marker, then we're going to make our second crochet in the same stitch to finish the increase, and then make 14 single crochets. These 14 crochets are numbers 3 to 16. Then we're going to do a sequence of an increase and 6 single crochets, and we're going to do it twice. So we're going to start with our increase, followed by 6 single crochets. Then we're going to repeat the sequence. These sequences are crochet numbers 17 through 32. Next, we're going to do an increase, which are crochet numbers 33 to 34. And then we're going to do 14 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 35 to 48. Then we're going to move on to the sequence of an increase in 6 single crochets, and we're going to do this twice. These two sequences are crochets numbers 49 through 64. And with our final crochet, number 64, we're finished with row number 8. And now we're ready to count our crochets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, and 64. For rows 9 to 15, we're going to be doing 7 rows of 64 crochets all the way around. We're basically at the midpoint of our head, so after these rows, we're going to be doing decreases. For these rows, I'm going to be using a stitch marker for each. We're going to start our first row by making a single crochet. Then we're going to get a stitch marker and place it into that single crochet. We're going to leave it there until we finish all 7 rows. For example, when we get to the beginning of row number 10, we're going to make a single crochet to start the row and then add a stitch marker in that first single crochet. We're going to leave the first stitch marker there and continue with crochet number 2 and then continue crocheting the rest of the row. And like magic, we completed all of our 7 rows. Let's count our stitch markers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we're ready to move on to our next row. To make the invisible decrease, place your hook into the front 2 loops of the next 2 stitches. Do a yarn over, pull through the 2 loops just made, then yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. And that's how you make an invisible decrease. We're going to put a stitch marker into our first crochet, which is our invisible decrease, and then we're going to make 14 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 2 through 15. After completing our 14 single crochets, we're going to move on to do an invisible decrease, then the sequence of 6 single crochets and a decrease, and we're going to do that twice. These are crochet numbers 17 through 30. Now we're on the final crochet of the sequence, which is an invisible decrease. Now we're going to do 14 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 31 through 44. After crochet number 31, we're going to move to the next sequence of a decrease and 6 single crochets, and we're going to do this twice. And now we're at crochet number 58, and this completes row number 16. And let's count our crochets. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, and 58. We're going to start with an invisible decrease. And that's going to be our crochet number 1, and we're going to add our stitch marker. And then we're going to do 13 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 2 through 14. After crochet number 14, we're going to move on to crochet number 15, which is a decrease. Next, we're doing the sequence of 5 single crochets and a decrease, and we're doing this twice. These will be crochet numbers 16 through 27. Now we're on the last decrease of this sequence. Then we're moving on to 13 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 28 through 40. And now we're finished with our 13th crochet. Then we're moving on to the sequence of a decrease and 5 single crochet, and we're doing it twice. These will be crochet numbers 41 through 52. Once we're finished with crochet number 52, we're done with row 17. Let's count our crochets. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, and 52. We're going to start with a decrease, and this will be our first crochet. We're going to add a stitch marker to that crochet. Next, we're going to do 12 single crochets. These will be crochet numbers 2 through 13. Next, we're going to do a decrease, and this is crochet number 14. Then we're going to do a sequence of 4 single crochets and a decrease, and we're going to do this twice. And these will be crochet numbers 15 through 24. And once we're done with this final decrease of the sequence, we're moving on to 12 single crochets. And these are crochet numbers 25 to 36. And once we're done with our 12 single crochet, we're going to move to doing the sequence of a decrease and 4 single crochets, and we're going to do that twice. And these are crochet numbers 37 to 46. And after completing crochet number 46, we're done with row number 18. We're ready to count our crochets. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46. We're going to start with a decrease as our first crochet, and then we're going to put on our stitch marker. This time it's green. And then we're going to do 11 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 2 through 12. And now we're done with our 12th crochet. Next, we're going to do a decrease, and this will be crochet number 13. Then we're going to do the sequence of 3 single crochets and a decrease, and we're going to do this twice. These will be crochet numbers 14 through 21. After we're done with the double crochet of the sequence, we're going to move on to doing 11 single crochets, and these will be crochet numbers 22 to 32. After finishing the 11th crochet, we're going to move on to doing the sequence of a decrease and then 3 single crochets, and we're going to do that twice. And these will be crochet numbers 33 to 40. And with the completion of the last crochet, crochet number 40, we're done with row number 19. Let's count our crochets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. We're going to begin row 20 with a decrease. That's our first crochet, and we're going to put in our stitch marker. Then we're going to move on to 10 single crochets. These are crochet numbers 2 through 11. Moving on, we're going to do a decrease, and that will be crochet number 12. And then we're going to do the sequence of 2 single crochets and a decrease, and we're going to do this twice. These will be crochet numbers 13 through 18. After completing this decrease of the last sequence, we're going to move on to doing 10 single crochets. These will be crochet numbers 19 through 28. After the 10th crochet, we're going to move on to the sequence of a decrease and 2 single crochets, and we're going to do that 2 times. These are going to be crochet numbers 29 to 34. With the completion of crochet number 34, we're done with row number 20. Let's count our crochets. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and number 34. We're going to begin with a decrease as our first crochet, and then we're going to mark it with our stitch marker. Moving on, we're going to do 9 single crochets. These will be crochet numbers 2 through 10. Next, we're going to do a decrease, which will be crochet number 11. And then we're going to move on to the sequence of a single crochet and a decrease, and we're going to do that twice. These will be crochet numbers 12 through 15. Then we're going to do 9 single crochets, and these will be crochet numbers 16 through 24. After making the 9th single crochet, we're going into the sequence of a decrease and a single crochet, and we're going to do that twice. And these are crochet numbers 25 through 28. With the completion of crochet number 28, we're finished with row number 21. Let's count our crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, number 28. This round is a little bit different because there's no specific patterns or numbers to the crochets. We're going to start with a decrease. Then we're going to add our stitch marker to that first crochet, like always. Then we're going to do 8 single crochets. Then we're going to do a decrease. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets. And then this ends the round, and now we're going to repeat, then with a decrease. Then 8 single crochets. Down to a decrease. Then 2 single crochets. That's number 23 and number 24, our last crochet, and we're finished with row 22. Let's count our crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Now that we're done with row 22, we're going to stuff the head before the hole gets too small. We're going to add a stitch marker into that last crochet so that it doesn't unravel. We're going to break up the stuffing before we put it inside of our head. This way it's not as clumpy and lumpy. Once we start filling it up, we're going to fill it to the max. This is because the Hello Kitty that we're working on isn't floppy, it's more stiff. As we add more stuffing, we want to try to shape it. When shaping your head, you want to kind of look at the top. You'll see this stitch, and you want to keep this stitch straight as you continue to shape it. Just continue smushing and pushing all the sides in until you get the shape that you like. I think it should be kind of oval looking. As you keep stuffing, make sure that you get it into the sides. As we keep filling it, you'll see that the stitches will begin to stretch and you'll be able to see the stuffing inside. If it's not stuffed enough, it might be a little bit soft and not firm, and it might cause the head to move to the side or move back and forth when you put it onto the body. Once we're done shaping the head and it looks good, we're going to move on to finishing the rest of the rows. For row 23, we're going to start with 2 single crochets. Before we move on, we always want to mark our first single crochet, or we're going to lose our place, which we don't want to do. And then we're going to do our second single crochet, then a decrease, and then again repeating with 2 single crochets and a decrease. And we're going to do this 4 more times. We're at our final decrease, and this will be crochet number 18, and that's the completion of row 23. Count our crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. For row number 24, we're going to do a sequence of a single crochet and a decrease, and we're going to do it 6 times. We're going to start with the single crochet, then we're going to get our stitch marker, of course, and then we're going to mark that crochet. Then we're going to move on to a decrease, and then we're going to continue this until we get to the end, and we should have 12 crochets. We're on our final decrease, and this will be crochet number 12. And now we're finished with row 24. Count our crochets: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to finish off our head by pulling the working yarn through the last crochet. We're going to pull through about 12 to 18 inches of the yarn so that we have enough to use when we attach the head to the body. It doesn't have to be an exact measurement, but just around that much. You can measure it if you like. So just cut the yarn and then pull the yarn all the way through the crochet. This will prevent the work from unraveling. Next, we're going to get a darning needle and thread our yarn through it. Now we're going to stitch around the hole. We're going to do it in a zigzag manner. We're going to start by going under the front loop of the first crochet. Then from the top, we're going to go into the second crochet under the front loop, and we might have to pull it up so that we don't go through the yarn but under it. If we go through the yarn, we might get stuck. Next, we go under the front loop of the third crochet, and again we might have to lift up that loop so that we go under it. Then we go to the fourth crochet from the top and go under the front loop. Continue this alternating pattern until you get to the end of the row. Once we get to the end, we're ready to pull on this working yarn. Once we pull on it, it's going to be magic and it's going to close the open hole. There will be a tiny little hole left, but that's okay. Then we're going to place our needle into that hole and try to get to the top of the head. But if we can't make it there, we can just go to the side of the head and pull the needle from the side. I like to kind of press down and then pull the needle up. And then once it's up and out, press on the head again and then cut the yarn when it's pressed. This way the yarn will sink back into the head and there will be nothing to pull on the outside. And then just fluff up the head. And now we're finished, and all we have to do is just add the ears. To make the Hello Kitty ears, we're going to start with the magic circle. How I make it is I hold the tail end in the palm of my hand and I secure it with my thumb. Then I point out my 2 fingers and wrap the yarn around my 2 fingers, forming an X. And then on the top of my hand, you can see 2 parallel lines, and I hold the working yarn between my pinky and index finger. Then I get the hook and I go under the first parallel line, and then I grab the second one with the hook. Then I twist it up, and then I grab the working yarn above my index finger, and then I pull it through that loop we just made with the twist. And then we have the magic circle. If I pull out my fingers from the circle, you can see that it can be adjusted. We're going to pull out the tail end, and when you pull on it, you can see it adjusts the magic circle. If you want to adjust the loop on the hook, you pull the working end, and that tightens the loop on the hook. I'm going to put my fingers back into the circle so that I can control it. Then I'm going to be fancy and pull the working yarn with my thumb to tighten the loop on the hook. I'm putting my fingers into the circle, And the working yarn goes over my index finger, holding it between my middle finger and my index finger. I'm also using my thumb to control the magic circle. Next, I'm going to take the hook and put it through the circle, and then under all the strands of yarn, I'm going to grab the last one and pull it back through the circle. Yarn over and pull through the 2 loops, and then that's our first single crochet. I'm going to put a stitch marker on that first single crochet. Again, we're going to take our hook, put it through the circle, under 3 strands of yarn, take the top one, pull it through the circle, yarn over with the working yarn, and pull through the 2 loops. Again, through the circle, bring the top yarn through the circle, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We're going to continue making these single crochets through our magic circle until we make 6 of them. Once we're finished with our 6 crochet, we're ready to count them. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to close the circle of our magic circle. Hold the crochet section and just pull the tail until you see it close all the way. Once it's closed, we're ready to move on to our next row of crochets. We're going to start row 1 by removing our stitch marker, and we're going to do a sequence of a single crochet and an increase, and we're going to do that for 3 times. In the first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to put a stitch marker on that single crochet. On that second stitch, we're going to do an increase. So we're going to do a single crochet and another single crochet in that same stitch. We're going to repeat with a single crochet and then an increase. And then one more time, repeating it with a single crochet and then an increase. And that's our last crochet, number 9. We should have 9 crochets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. For the second row, we're going to do a sequence of 2 single crochets and an increase, and we're going to do it 3 times. So we're going to start with our first single crochet. Let's try that again. We're going to start with our first single crochet, then we're going to put a stitch marker, and then we're going to do our second single crochet in the next stitch, and then in this third stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets for the increase. And we're going to keep doing the same sequence until we reach 12 single crochets. We're on the final stitch of the increase, which will be our 12th single crochet. And let's count our crochets. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's try this again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For row 3, we're going to do a sequence of 2 single crochets and an increase, and we're going to do it 4 times. So we're going to start with our first crochet, add the stitch marker, then we're going to do a second crochet, and then an increase, We're going to repeat this sequence 4 times so that at the end we have 16 single crochets. Now we've completed crochet number 16, and this completes row number 3. Now we're going to count our crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. For this last row, it's just 16 single crochets around. We're going to start with our first single crochet in that first stitch. Now we're going to get our stitch marker and mark that first single crochet. For the rest of the row, we're going to make single crochets all the way around until we reach the end, and we should have 16 single crochets. And this is our final crochet, number 16, and this completes our row number 4 as well as completes the ear. So to finish off this project, we're just going to pull the yarn through the final crochet. The yarn was cut to leave about 12 inches. This will allow us to sew the ear onto the Hello Kitty head. And since Hello Kitty is a cat, remember to make 2 of these ears. Now we're ready to attach our ears. If you look on top of Hello Kitty's head, you'll notice this series of stitches. It's the first one that we made when crocheting the head. You'll see a hole on each side. We'll be using this as a guide to where we're going to place the ears. If you look at the ears, there's a longer and shorter side. Where the stitch ends is the shorter side, and if you fold it, the other side is the longer. I prefer putting the longer side on the inside and the shorter on the outside. Let's start with the long side. I'm matching it with the hole on the stitch section. We're going to add some stuffing into our ear so that they stay nice and firm. Then we're going to get our darning needle and put it through the inside of the ear. This way the tail of the yarn will be in the inside where we can hide it. Before we pull it out, we're going to tie it onto the ear. This way we don't have to worry about the yarn pulling out of the hole if we pull it too hard. When attaching the ear to the head, remember to use that middle series of stitches as a guideline. To hold the ear in place as it's being sewn on, I'm using a knitting needle with a point protector. I'm going to start sewing the ear on by going through the stitch that's closest to the beginning of the ear. It's kind of hard to go through, but if you have your darning needle bent, it's easier to sew through the stitches. Next, I'm going to go through the first loop in the ear. I'm going to continue to alternate between the head and the ear until the ear is sewn all the way around. As you're stitching around, you might have to skip every other loop on the ear. It's basically because we're going through 2 stitches on the head and just 1 loop on the ear. When sewing on, just keep in mind that the diameter of the ear should be about 5 stitches. So just keep it kind of stretched out to about 5 or 6 stitches as you're sewing around. If you don't stretch out the ear while sewing, it's easy for the diameter to become smaller, and then you start sewing the stitches closer to one another, causing the ear to be narrow and kind of looking like a horn instead of a cat's ear. Once we're done sewing on the ear, we're going to take the darning needle and put it into that last stitch, and then we're going to go to the top of the ear with the needle to secure it in place. And then we're just going to cut off the excess yarn. And now we're done with our left ear, our left hand side ear anyway. And now we're going to put on our right hand side ear, which is Kitty's left ear, and we're just going to follow that same process. To make it easier to sew, you might want to turn the head around. Once we're done sewing and securing on our second ear, we're ready to work on Hello Kitty's face. For the whiskers, we're going to start 3 rows from the bottom stitch of the ear. There's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to insert the needle into the hole on the side of her face, and then we're going to count 7 crochets and go 1 row down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're going to insert our needle into that hole after the 7th crochet. So as you can see, our whiskers are going into a little slant or an angle. We're going to insert the needle back into that starting hole, and we're going to move down another 2 rows from the first whisker. We're going to insert our needle into that hole, and then we're going to go straight. We're not going to go into an angle. We're going to go 7 crochets down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we're going to insert our needle into that hole and then go another 2 stitches down, 1, 2, and then put our needle into that hole. For this third whisker, we're not going to go straight, but we're going to go 1 row down. We're going to go down 7 crochets, then insert our needle, and then we're going to take our needle back up to that first whisker and insert it into the hole where we first started. So in this hole, we should have 2 strands of yarn. And that completes our whiskers. We should have a total of 3. And now we're going to finish them off so that they are secured and won't unravel. We're just going to bring the 2 strands together, and we're going to twist them to make one big gigantic knot. And then we're going to cut off the excess yarn, and from there we're just going to tuck that knot into her head so that it's not visible. And now we've completed our first set of whiskers, and we're going to do the same to the other side. For the face, we just have 2 eyes and, of course, a yellow nose. We're going to start with the eyes first because it kind of sets the face. So we're going to line up the top of the eye with the top whisker, and we're going to put it 2 crochets down, so on top of the 3rd and 4th crochet. And we're just going to line it up, and then we're going to do the same with the other side. So we're going to go 2 crochets down and then place the eye in line with the top whisker. Between the eyes, there should be about 9 crochets. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And between the 2 eyes, we're going to put the nose. We're going to count 5 crochets down. That's where the center of the nose will be placed. The nose is about 3 crochets wide. Counting from the eye on our right, it'll cover crochets 4, 5, and 6. We're going to align the top of the nose with the middle whisker. Now we're ready to glue on our eyes and nose. Double check the placements. Once we're done gluing and they're dried, we're finished with Hello Kitty's face.